Shit happens because you make a fucking decision to make shit happen.
I think the first thing we need to do is turn the lights up so I can actually get a good look at you. There we go. I see you up there, and up there, all the way back there. So I wanted to take a second and just give you a little bit of a history lesson on Motley Crue and actually why we're all here, how this whole fucking crazy journey began. But I wanted to start out with something. When I was younger, people used to say to me all the time, anytime something good or bad happened, they would say, you know, Nikki, everything happens for a reason. And I have to say, right here, that that's fucking bullshit, because shit happens because you make a fucking decision to make shit happen. That's right. You guys made a decision to get in your cars and come here. We made a decision somewhere along the line, and I'm going to tell you about that, to start this band. So I want to back up to late 1980, maybe November or December of 1980. And I was a struggling musician. I was in Los Angeles, California, and I pretty much had everything that I wanted because I got in a Greyhound bus in Jerome, Idaho, and I had a dream. My dream was to be in a fucking band, and I went to Hollywood, California, and I was in a fucking rock and roll band. But for some reason, I made a decision one night at band rehearsal to quit that fucking band. And at the time, it probably, well, at least it seemed like a bad decision because you see, I didn't have a job, now I didn't have a band, I didn't have any money, and I didn't even have a fucking car. But I had a fucking idea, and this was the idea. There has to be at least 3 other guys in Los Angeles, California that, like myself, wants to reach into the fucking heart of the music industry and rip that fucking thing out. You know what I mean? But I have no idea where they were, or even if they existed. And for no apparent reason, on a Thursday night, I made a decision to go to Hollywood, California, to go to a club called the Starwood. It was on Santa Monica Boulevard. I walked through the door, and I can picture myself right now standing there at the back of the club, and there he was. He was 17 years old. He was the skinniest motherfucker I ever saw, and he was pounding the shit out of those fucking drums. Do you know who that is? Do you know who that was? And still is? It's Mr. Tommy Lee, right there. Right along. What's up, what's up? It's like I remember the moment. I went back and I sit on the floor with Tommy, and he had 2 beers. I had a rum and coke, and we started talking about a few things. We talked about how much we love fucking heavy metal. And something else that would become very important in the fabric and the history of this band, we talked about how much we also love fucking punk rock. And another part of that conversation is we talked about great bands that came out of the 70s, like Aerosmith, and Black Sabbath, and Queen, and David Bowie, and Elton John. You get the idea. So Tommy made a decision, and he quit his band, and we set up shop at this girl's house. I was living off this girl. I can't even remember her name, you know? She doesn't matter in this story. So, me and Tommy are sitting there at that girl's house, and it's bass and drums, and we have these songs, right? We have Too Fast for Love, Take Me to the Top, Public Enemy #1, Starry Eyes, Live Wire. So, me and Tommy, we started a band, except for we were missing a couple band members. So you know what we did about it? We went to 7-Eleven to buy some fucking beer. And thank fucking God we went to buy some beer, because on the stand there was a magazine called the Recycler magazine. We opened it up and it said, "Loud, rude, aggressive guitar player available. Call me only if you're serious. Mick Mars." Mick showed up with a guitar, a Marshall stack, and a gallon of schnapps. So we started playing, but we were missing that last key element, and that was the lead singer. Tommy goes, "I know a guy, except for he's in another band." And Mick said, "Who gives a fuck? If he's good, we'll just fucking steal his ass." So on a Tuesday night, we went back to the Starwood, back to Hollywood on Santa Monica Boulevard. Now the three of us walked through the same fucking door that I walked through, and there he was, standing on the same fucking stage that Tommy was on. He had white leather pants, a white leather jacket, bleached fucking white hair, and he was leaning into the microphone, singing Cheap Trick, and you know what? Fucking girls are taking their pussies out and fucking throwing them at him. You know who that is? Right fucking here, Vince Neil. He caught that pussy in his mouth. So, that's pretty fucking nasty, I think. Okay, so you get the fucking point. Vince quit his band. We had a fucking gang. A gang of heathens, misfits. And you know what? We didn't want to sound like anybody else. We didn't want to look like anybody else. We didn't want to be like anybody else. And we had $26 to our name. So we decided to go to Burbank, California in a rehearsal space, and we had one fucking day, one fucking chance. If it didn't work, you wouldn't be here right now, and we wouldn't be here right now, and this is how it fucking happened. I handed Vince the lyrics to Livewire, and he looked at him and he goes, "I've got this." Mick turned up his amp, picked up the guitar, Tommy jumped on the drums, I picked up this fucking bass, and at that exact moment, it was January 17th, 1981, Motley Crue was fucking born. So, next time somebody says, you know, you better think twice about your decisions, if I was you, I would tell them to go fuck themselves and trust your fucking instincts. Are you ready? Never forget this. This is not goodbye, and this is not farewell, because this band's music is gonna haunt you till the day that you fucking die.